Hello, everyone.
If a popular investor on social media posted, "I sold this stock," could you ignore it without getting curious?
Oof, I would definitely look. I'd suddenly start worrying, should I sell too?
Today, we're looking at a paper called The Impact of Finfluencers on Retail Investment. The theme is how investing influencers affect the trades and holdings of individual investors.
By investing influencers, do you mean people who post things like, I bought this stock on social media or investment apps?
And that's close. This paper focuses on something called social trading. It's like an investing social network where you can follow other investors and see their trades and posts.
So it's like a timeline for investing. If someone buys or sells, you can get notified about it?
Exactly. For example, a popular investor might buy an ETF, which is like a package of many different stocks, or they might sell a certain stock. Then their followers can see that move through a newsfeed or by email.
That's kind of like seeing a friend go to a popular cafe and suddenly wanting to go there too.
Exactly. Here's another familiar example. When you see a home appliance with lots of good reviews, you may think, this looks good, even before checking every detail. In investing, the actions of a popular person can start to look like a flashlight on a dark road.
But does just seeing that really change someone's actual traits?
That's what this paper investigates. It tries to distinguish between people simply following investors who already think like them and people actually changing their investment behavior because they followed someone. The research questions are very simple. There are three main ones. Who becomes popular as an investing influencer? Does following someone actually change trading behavior? And for which people or products is the influence stronger?
First, I want to know what kind of people are more likely to be followed. Is it people with good performance?
The paper shows that users are more likely to follow people with better past performance, people who trade more often, people who live in the same country, people who use the same language, and male users.
Maybe using the same language or living in the same country makes people feel more comfortable.
That's a reasonable way to think about it. For example, it's easier to understand someone who explains things in your own language. Also, if someone lives in the same country, the news they watch or the brokerage services they use may be closer to your own. It's a bit like trusting a local weather forecast more because it feels more relevant to you.
When the paper looks at past performance, does it just mean whether someone made money?
The paper also uses a measure called the Sharpe ratio. It shows how efficiently someone earned returns compared with the risk they took. To use a school test example, it's a bit like saying that someone who steadily scores 80 may seem more reliable than someone who scores 100 once but does poorly the other times.
Oh, I see. So it's not just the total score. The amount of ups and downs also matters.
Exactly. But the important point here is that being popular and actually moving people's behavior are two different things. A large sign in front of a station may stand out, but whether people actually enter the store is another question.
That's true. Just because I watch a video doesn't mean I buy the product every time.
Exactly. So this study doesn't stop at asking why some investors become popular. It examines how following someone is connected to actual holdings, buy orders, and sell orders.
So the question is not just whether someone is being watched, but whether they are actually moving people.
That's the idea. In investing, a single notification on the screen may work like a gentle finger pushing someone from behind. The strength of the method is that the study uses real trading data, not just survey answers. The data comes from a social trading platform in 4 Nordic countries: Denmark, Finland, Norway, and Sweden.
So instead of asking people, were you influenced, the researchers looked at what they actually bought and sold.
Exactly. The data runs from the launch of the service in 2014 through March 2023. It includes 32,104 users, about 5.7 million trades, and about 51,000 securities. It also includes around 160,000 follow relationships, showing who followed whom.
That's huge. It's not like looking at one person's household budget. It's more like collecting receipts from an entire city.
That's a good comparison. In this study, the top 100 users by number of followers are treated as influencers. The researchers then examine how much those influencers' trades overlap with their followers' trades.
But if people already like the same kinds of investments, they might buy the same things even without following each other.
That's the biggest trap. For example, if two ramen lovers go to the same restaurant, it doesn't necessarily mean one influenced the other. Also, they may simply have seen the same news and bought the same stock. So the study needs to separate being similar from being influenced.
How did they separate those?
The paper uses a method called an instrumental variable. This is a clue used to examine cause and effect. On this platform, new users were automatically made to follow some platform-affiliated influencers. The researchers used that system to measure influence from a part of the follow relationship that was not simply chosen by the users themselves.
So instead of looking only at people they personally chose to follow, the study uses the people who were shown to them from the beginning, almost like a random difference.
Exactly. In cooking terms, it's like looking at what dishes people make when they happen to receive the same ingredients. This helps the researchers get closer to the effect of following itself, rather than just matching personal tastes. The results are quite clear. Following an influencer made followers' holdings and trades more likely to overlap with that influencer's.
How much did it change?
On average, the overlap in holdings increased by 3.8 percentage points. Compared with the average level, that was a 109% increase. Buy overlap increased by 0.3 percentage points, and sell overlap increased by 4.6 percentage points.
The selling effect is much larger. Maybe a notification saying, "I sold this," feels scarier.
That's possible. The paper shows that the influence on selling was stronger than the influence on buying. In everyday terms, if a friend says, "This restaurant is good," you may notice it. But if they say, "You should avoid this restaurant," it suddenly gets your attention. Another way to say it is that a fire alarm makes your body react more strongly than an opening bell.
That makes sense. People really hate the feeling of losing money.
The study also found that followers' trades tended to happen after influencers' trades. That makes it easier to think that followers moved after seeing the influencer's actions, rather than both sides simply reacting to the same news at the same time.
What kinds of influencers had stronger effects?
The influence was stronger for people with more followers, people who were central in the network, and people who actively joined group discussions. For example, compared with someone quietly speaking in the corner of a classroom, someone speaking over the school broadcast is easier to hear. And compared with someone who only puts up a notice, someone who repeatedly answers questions may be easier to trust.
Were there any traits that made followers more likely to be influenced?
The influence was stronger among people who followed fewer others. When you watch many people, your attention is spread out. But when you watch only a few people, each notification looks bigger. Also, in the part of the data where gender and age were available, female followers were more affected, while there was no clear difference by age.
Did the effect differ by product type?
Yes, the influence appeared for diversified products, such as ETFs and passive index funds. On the other hand, the same kind of influence was not found for riskier products, such as leveraged products or crypto-related assets. This suggests that followers were not blindly copying everything, but may have been choosing what to imitate. To sum up, this paper uses long-term, real trading data to show that investing influencers can affect the actual holdings and trades of individual investors.
So it's not just saying investment social media is popular. It's important because it looks at real behavior.
Exactly. And the influence is not just one simple thing. People who are popular, central in the network, and active in discussions have stronger influence. On the follower side, people who watch fewer influencers are more likely to move. Information doesn't flow evenly like water from a tap. It flows through large rivers and small streams.
How should we think about the good side and the risks?
On the positive side, investing influencers may encourage people to participate in investing. If they explain difficult financial information in a short and easy-to-understand way, they can reduce the burden of research.
That's true. A clear video can be a much easier entrance than a difficult manual.
On the other hand, there are also risks.
The paper points to concerns such as excessive trading, noise, herding behavior, and conflicts of interest. Herding behavior means many people moving in the same direction at the same time. It's like seeing a line of people and wanting to join it, even if you don't know the reason.
What does a conflict of interest mean?
It means the interests of the person posting and the interests of the people watching may not be aligned. The paper found that platform-affiliated influencers were more likely to trade products issued by the platform, and they also traded more often each month. However, they were not found to have better performance than others.
So, even if someone is popular, you need to check how that person might benefit from what they are saying.
Exactly. As viewers, we should not judge only by follower counts. We need to separate past performance, risk, product type, reasons for trading, and the relationship between the poster and the platform. A follower count is like large text on a map. It is not the destination itself.
Oh, I see. When looking at investment information, we need to think not only about who said it, but also why they said it and whether it fits our own situation.
Exactly. What this paper teaches us is that in investing, not only numbers, but also human connections can move trading behavior. A single notification on your phone can spread ripples into investment decisions, like a small stone falling onto the surface of water.
Oh, I see. Thank you, Dr. Wonko. I learned something new today and feel smarter already. See you next time.